Welcome. This video details how you can easily look up information about um, when and how much has been paid by a client or been paid to an underwriter in relation to a particular invoice. When you're looking at your main client inquiry and processing screen, you'll see the invoice numbers listed alongside each transaction. If you click on a particular invoice number, an additional screen will pop up. The top of that screen shows the debtor, the person who owes you the money, and as you can see in this instance, the client has an invoice owing 837,320. Underneath that, you can see if there has been a receipt processed against that, there will be a line showing that receipt. The allocation date here shows when the invoice was received. The reference will show the check number or tender type, depending on how it was paid, and the amount of that particular receipt, how much has been allocated, and you can also see how much is outstanding on the far right-hand side. If you want more information, you can click on the actual invoice receipt number, should I say, and you can then see all of the items that were allocated on that particular receipt. The bottom part of the screen shows the creditor or underwriter and subagent details. In this instance, there is one underwriter on the policy, so you can just see the one invoice, the amount owed to the underwriter, and also in this case it has been paid, so you can see the details of a payment run, the date of when it was paid, and the reference number used on that payment. And again, the outstanding amount on the right-hand side shows as 0. If this was an overseas underwriter, you would also see potentially stamp duty, fire service levies if it's applicable, and withholding tax, etc. Those items will all be separated automatically if the underwriter has been set up as an overseas insurer. Likewise, if it's a co-insured policy, you might see more than one underwriter in here. And if there is a creditor subagent involved, they will also be listed in here. Each of those creditors will then have a line representing their payment if they have been paid. So you can check on each individual creditor involved in that transaction. You can also on this front screen see a short summary of whether or not they've been paid. So you can see straight away this is the client's original amount, how much they were invoiced, and the outstanding column you can see is 0 because it's been paid. The same thing with the creditor, that's the total amount owed to creditors, invoiced to creditors, and then the total amount still owing, which is down to 0. Items that appear in red are overdue, and if you see an item that's in this pink purpley sort of color here, if you click on that, you'll notice that the debtor in there is a different debtor to the actual client, and that's why they are in that other color. So if you see that, it indicates that the person who the invoice is made out to is different to this debtor that's showing at the top of the screen. This concludes the video. Thank you for your attention.